I broke my back December 5th, came back January 6th. You understand what I'm saying? So, like,
That's crazy.
yeah, the thought of my career being over made absolutely no sense.
Straight up out the gate, I'm OT, press game time. Hey, look, I'm here to win it all, not here to waste time.
Our guest today is 10-year NBA veteran, the number 2 overall pick in the 2010 NBA draft, host of Point Forward podcast and Beyond the Big Ten, Evan Turner. Welcome to In Shambles.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course, always. So, as we know, the NBA playoffs are underway right now. I want to know who you got out of the West and who you got coming out of the East.
Man, I got the Warriors out the West, and I got the Celtics out the East. We're gonna have a rematch from last year. That's what I think.
Dude,
Yeah, for sure.
I've been rooting for the Kings, man.
Yeah.
I just want to see some. I want to see some success out of them.
Oh, no, of course. I love the Kings too.
Yeah.
I think they were unbelievable. I think they had a great chance of winning a series, but I think the momentum's going towards the Warriors, and I think they'll be good down the line. I really love what they're doing. De'Aaron Fox is, a real superstar. I'm a big fan of Kevin Huerter. Malik Monk. That whole team is tight. But I'm here for my man Iguodala. To watch Steph Curry, finish his career, in a dope fashion. So first round isn't really, what I want to see from him.
Right off in the sunset for Steph.
Yeah, for sure.
So, who do you got winning the finals then? If you got Warriors Celtics,
that's up in the air, man.
It's a tough question. It's a tough question.
It's such a tough question, and I feel like the Celtics have what they need. I think they got the experience last year. I think they're just another year better. I think their depth is there. It's hard to really match up with that 3-guard. The defense, everything that they bring to the table. I think it really comes down much to last year what the superstars do. And, you see Tatum, media-wise.
He's so good, man.
Yeah, he's so good. But and it's a great platform. He's been making his way media-wise. Every time you turn on the TV, he's on the TV, on the television. So to go up against the Golden Child, Steph Curry, and, bring home a championship, I think that'll really be the passing of the torch.
I think if they're going to do it, it's got to be this year. Same could go for the Sixers, though. I think if the Sixers are ever going to do it, it has to be this year.
Yeah, I just don't see it, man. The Sixers is always a good matchup for the Celtics, always.
Yeah.
Like, literally always. Like, in every aspect and in every shape, form. So, I just don't see it. I want Embiid to win MVP. I'm a big fan of Doc Rivers. I love how James Harden is hooping. And, I'm a fan of Georges Niang as well, but I just don't see it at all.
I feel like it's time to start considering how good of a coach Doc Rivers is. He's won one championship. Awesome. A lot of coaches haven't, but you haven't succeeded with that roster and that talent with Joel Embiid. It just kind of makes me wonder a little bit.
Yeah, I guess. But I said this last year. Where else are they going to go? You know what I mean? If you don't get that's what I'm saying. Like, what's better than a Doc Rivers for that team? And that's not like a regular NBA team where it's like maybe the Milwaukee Bucks where you have superstars, but you don't really have superstars. Like, there's mentalities and personalities that only certain coaches can handle and be comfortable in that environment. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just don't trade out unless you know what I mean. It could be like the Michigan effect with Jim Harbaugh. It's like they should have been fired him, but they didn't. Now he's a top 5 program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just stick with it.
Yeah.
So another matchup that's going on in the playoffs right now at the time we're recording is the Lakers and the Grizzlies. I'm sure you've been keeping up with it. How sustainable is Ja Morant's style of play, in your opinion?
Man, I don't know. I was a big fan of I'm a big fan of his, but the way he goes up and just how guys play and everything, all it takes is one hit, and he's taken off 3 or 4 times high fly every single night over an 82-game season. You already seen him come back from the hand injury, which was crazy. Luckily, when Brian took the charge, it didn't really hurt him, but that looked crazy as well. So it's definitely something to really keep in mind of and be cognizant of. But I hope it's long, but it's tough. What do you think?
So, coming from you broke your back in college, correct? We'll get into that a little later. But like you said, you fall wrong once, and you're done. You could be done. I mean, I don't think it's sustainable. His hops are insane. Similar to my hops, some would say.
Yeah,
but,
I heard.
Yeah, everybody's been talking about it off the podcast. But, I mean, I don't think it's sustainable past a couple more years. At some point, I see his knee giving out, unfortunately. I could see it. And like you said, one wrong fall, and it could all come crumbling down.
Yeah, true. But I think one thing that occurs, I think he's been learning the game at a high level. If you break it down, he's a very good playmaker.
Yeah.
You know, his shot's developing, so there's ways he can make it happen. But yeah, definitely one thing that playing 4 or 5 inches above the rim is definitely getting him 6 to 8 points extra a game.
Dude, in my own opinion, I'd be lucky to have 4 or 5 inches. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah. So you said Joel Embiid is your pick for MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
Can anyone stop him? Can anyone stop him?
Man, I don't know. Obviously, you see the Brooklyn Nets. It took two or three guys to try to stop him and get the ball out of his hands. But never seen him in person, man. He's like 7'2". He's like one of those creative players that you make on the game. You know what I mean? He can do it all. He's got a jumper, handle, post work. You know what I mean? He's pretty good defensively, but the confidence is there. And, he knows who he is. And, the way that team and that city rallies around him gives him a lot of strength. But, I don't know if it's enough to take out the Celtics. I think Tatum is going to overpower that series and outshine.
And Al Horford always, somehow, some way, has a damn number.
Shot. Yeah, bro, but he always makes like a big shot. Somewhere. Even last night, they're up 3, kick it to the corner, hits a 3 in the corner for the 6-point lead. Like big shot, big plays, man. He's unbelievable, man.
God, he's so handsome too.
So.
Throughout your career, you've never been afraid to kind of shy away from talking to other players, talking to the media, saying whatever you want, in my opinion. Who's a better trash talker, Draymond Green or Dillon Brooks?
Man, to be honest with you, I think Dillon Brooks, man. There's something that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just think now, we're so used to Draymond Green. And, obviously we've been seeing it for 10 years. So I think maybe it's a fresh new voice. It's something that's cool. I mean, I think Dillon Brooks doesn't, it's a different level. Dillon Brooks isn't at the level that Draymond Green was when he was trash talking. So I think that is what makes it way cooler and way more courageous. Because you see him chopping up with Steph Curry. Then he'll talk trash to LeBron, Dame Lillard. Now, I mean, obviously it gets them cooked and, gets them in certain situations. But you still you still really appreciate the competitive nature in them. And I don't think without that type of mindset, the Grizzlies will be where they're at. Like, don't act like, we were playing on the Grizzlies being this good this soon. You know what I'm saying? They literally start out year one making noise.
Definitely. And it's funny because he was saying, like, oh, the media is trying to make me into a villain. But when you're trash talking some of the faces of the NBA, you're going to be made as a villain.
Of course. But
what killed me, man, what killed me was that he deleted everything off his Instagram, unfollowed the Grizzlies. I don't know if you saw that.
That's crazy. Now, I don't.
I was like, bro.
Sometimes with players and everything, it's almost like, man, 'cause I was the same way, but it's like, bro, it's never that serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to take a step back and be like, bro, this shit is not that damn serious. And then just move on, because when you look back on it, it's like not talking to media, erasing everything off your social media and trying to duck and dodge. Like, it's just a basketball game, bro. You getting money, you fly, you living. You know what I'm saying?
It's a bad look, too, if you're trash talking LeBron and then can't own up and talk to the media, though. Look, I've never been in the locker room. But I can't imagine, if you got to talk to the media if you're the one talking the most shit.
Yeah, no, of course. And also, too, just be like, you said what you said. Like, who's the media? Like, you got LeBron sexuals that are, sitting there, harassing people every time you say anything but, all hail the king. And it's like, nah, bro, you're trying to do something magnificent. You're trying to take out the GOAT. Like, you got to be courageous. You got to be, you got to be somewhat, delusional to do so. But you also got to be, your own best friend and, really believe in it. And I thought Dillon Brooks was believing they could beat him. And, you just got to really follow up with, who cares if you're the villain, quote unquote. You feel me?
Yeah, stick with it. Got to stick with it. So we were talking about it a little earlier. You're the host of Point Forward podcast with current Warrior and former teammate of yours, Andre Iguodala. How do you feel about the new media term and players having their own podcasts?
No, I was just saying this earlier. I think it's so necessary because in this day and age, you can no longer shut up and dribble, and you have to paint your own narrative. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I think that's the freedom of having these platforms, having social media, and the evolution of the athlete as well. And I feel as though there's a lot of nonsense that goes out. Most of the time, it's like what Bobby Knight says: journalism is one step above prostitution. Because at the end of the day, people will write anything for a story. Jump on any side for a story and, not really worry about the character and image they're portraying of an individual, and that's that person's life. So I think, everybody appreciates it even more when you hear it right out the horse's mouth as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's not hearing it from a source. It's directly from the horse's mouth, like you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you were on the Warriors and you guys just lost a tough playoff game, you wake up and you see a new episode of the Draymond Green podcast, would you be pissed?
I would not be pissed because you got to think it's different mentalities, man. The Warriors have seen so much. It's equivalent to when Draymond got kicked out of game 2. Yeah. Goes and stands and hypes up the crowd, and that's Draymond. I think that's what his identity is, and I think that shows like a little bit of confidence. I like the swagger of the Warriors. It's like, man, everybody else would be nervous. You see guys ducking and dodging interviews, sitting there like walking around with their head down till they show up to get another win, and then
body language.
It's like, nah, keep that same energy, keep that same confidence. And I think the same Draymond that got kicked out in Memphis last year and came back and reported live from the Draymond Green show is the same Draymond and part of the same team and culture that was down 0-2 on the road in Sacramento and are about to close out the Kings.
He truly doesn't care what anybody else says, which I do respect that about him. But his recent episode, he was talking about Harrison Barnes, who he's currently playing against, and he was telling like a really personal story. He's like, Harrison invited everybody on the team but me to his wedding. And I'm like, bro, like what does that matter? Like, it's a personal story. Like,
but that's life. It don't pay to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just it. And you call it what it is. You know what I mean? And then just call it what it is. Who cares? You don't get invited to the wedding. And then I heard Draymond's wedding was lit, and I don't think Harrison was there. So it is what it is.
I don't think he's as likable as he thinks he is. At least to some people, man. I mean, that's my personal thoughts.
That's real. Hey, we all gotta. Say we all think we're 20% better than what we are.
Yeah.
I fall victim to it too.
You're gonna love this one. Portland paid you $70 million. I'm sure you remember that. I'm sure you will remember that for the rest of your life. You were coming off a season where you're averaging nearly 10, 5, and 5. Do you think you got overpaid for that?
Nah, because I damn near played them 2 seasons for free. So, no, I don't think I got overpaid for that. I think, I played on a playoff team. I think which wasn't supposed to be a playoff team. I mean, when you do my numbers throughout that situation, they're doing pretty well for a guy coming off the bench in the six-man position. I was one of the finalists for 6th man of the year. That year I had 3 triple-doubles in a month, which was like a record in Celtics history. I had tons of other records to be done with, and I think like the possibility of what you were looking for at that time. Chandler Parsons was averaging 15 points a game, and y'all gave him 150-something million. All right then, so my little no, but that's my man's and get paid. But I just think what they're trying to go after and what they're looking for, along with the market and how it rose up. No, I don't think so, because the possibility had we ran the system a certain type of way. It could have been a triple-double machine out there. But I to be honest with you, I thought I played for free. And I thought, there was points in time when I didn't get an extension. And there was people getting extensions that had exact identical numbers as me. And I think, the narrative and the media point and the analytics kicked in for me that didn't work in my favor. So when I looked at the $70 million, it was like, no, fuck y'all. It's about that time. Because I was supposed to been this rich. I was supposed to be richer. You know what I'm saying? While all my other peers had got a bag, going through their second year, I played 2 years for no disrespect to anybody, but like for $6 million. That was like while leaving Indy, I was supposed to get an $8.7 million qualifying offer. Like, nah, dog. Like, all while playing like 30 minutes a night. If I play 30 minutes a night, I'm important. I'm valuable. Kiss my ass. You understand what I'm saying? And like, but that's just how the game goes. It's like, say what you want. If I'm playing 18 minutes, sure. If I'm playing 15, like, no, I'm playing 30, 31 minutes a night. I'm in big shots down the stretch. I'm leading the second unit in certain situations. Like, call it what it is. It's just like you have to play a role.
Definitely. I hope you hold some of that money later.
Yeah, for sure. I got it.
Of course, bro. Of course. Going on Chandler Parsons, man, he was so good. And it's not like it was I don't really know what happened. Seems like it was injuries, but
yeah, it's probably just injuries.
I think at the time he deserved that contract. And I think in your situation, you were playing extremely well in the playoffs. I think you came in for Rondo and Marcus Smart got hurt, if that's correct.
Yeah, no, so actually, what was it? I came in Marcus Smart's rookie year, and Rajon Rondo actually, he got traded halfway off. So my first year, I think we had like 20 players. So we weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. We traded Jeff Green, Rondo. It was literally supposed to be a rebuilding year. We made the playoff as an A seed. Came back, did the same thing the next year. So we literally won like 43 or 44 games. And, it was and Isaiah Thomas came halfway through the year, and we all just shared responsibility. So, it's a pretty cool time of like some underdogs and some forgettables, being able to, band together and really win. And I think if you knew basketball and you go up against, your opposition each night, it would tell you that our team was pretty tough. And, I was a load myself.
Yeah, it was a fun team to watch, man. And it's sad not seeing IT in the league right now because, he was different. He was different, man.
He was special. To be on this team and watch what he was doing night in and night out and how hard he worked and how relentless he was. I mean, we were able to do a lot of cool things just with a 5'9" guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't even like it was a huge defensive liability where you were losing because of that. Like, you figured it out.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's what a team is. So we all, you got to band together. He did a load of the scoring. We had to do a load of, defense.
Yeah, man. I'm always handing out loads too.
Yes, sir.
So again, you signed in Portland. You're good friends with Damian Lillard throughout your time there. Do you think it's time for the Blazers to move on from Dame?
I think what they need to do is, pick like what Dame said. If it's, one rookie's enough. If you're trying to rebuild young, I'm not looking forward to that. So I think they really have to pick and choose. Do they want to, back up their investment of, $120 million over 2 years, or do they want to? Or I think Dame is still owed like $195 million, something along those lines. Yeah, so you want to back that up and trade. They have a couple of tradable pieces, man. You got Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons, Grant, Nurkic. You have a couple of guys where you could trade out and bring, I don't know who they'll go get, but bring two superstars there where you got to, could do a three-headed monster for the most part. But I think they have to pick and choose, man, because Dame's talent is too great in his prime time when it comes down to moments like this for playoffs. And even when you think about certain situations where if Dame was interchanged in that position, he probably could have had a couple championships as is,
Yeah, and I think in my, the way I see it is Dame is obviously loyal. He's told us millions of times, and people give him shit for it, but I think at this point, I think he'd be okay if he got traded, but he's never going to ask for it, which is fair. He's never going to ask for it.
Which is fair when you break it down. I mean, it's hard to, one thing about Damian Lillard is his confidence, you know what I mean? And I think, when you talk to him, he really thinks he's going to the championship, and that's not like just talking. Like, you really sit there and you believe it. So I think with a guy that has that type of work ethic, that type of faith and ability, like, he doesn't have a what-if situation. He's just like, man, I got one more. Like, I'm one step away from getting to my goal, and you got to really respect that. And the talent he has, man, like, why don't you believe it? I mean, I've seen him where we were supposed to be like last or second to last in the West, and we win the division and finish third and make it to the Western Conference Finals. And, the way he, have really missed playoffs at certain moments in time where it's like, he really leads and carries teams.
When Dame's on, he's on.
No, he's unbelievable. And at this point, man, you're like watching a master at work when it comes to scoring. That dude is not missing much. He's damn near shooting it from the parking lot and shoot. He's just sick with it.
He's wild. He's wild. Stephen A. Smith said the other day that the Clippers should blow it up, trade Kawhi, trade Paul George, just start fresh. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the Clippers should blow it up?
Nah, absolutely not. Because those where like I said, where else are you gonna go? What could you go get? You know what I mean? If you go get something decent, cool, but at the same time, like Kawhi Leonard's still one of the best players in the world. Paul George still one of the best players in the world. Paul was an all-star. Kawhi literally is an assassin when he's healthy, And I think also as well they're going to be opening up that new arena, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to kind of – this is a business now, too. You got 2 Cali kids and, Stephen A. Smith is a long way away from, the streets of L.A. and how people feel towards those 2 individuals because those are, 2 hometown heroes and 2 of the best two-way players in the game and in the past decade.
Yeah, man, the way I see it is you haven't won with them yet. They're both having these injury-plagued seasons, which, again, it's not their fault. You can complain all you want about load management, but if it's keeping Kawhi healthy and away from these long-term injuries like he just had, sure. Yeah. But like the point you mentioned about the stadium, it makes me think they won't blow it up because, you got to bring in the tickets, you got to bring in the coverage. But offload Kawhi Leonard and Paul George for some picks and start over. They're reaching the end of their prime, bro. It's just
But what picks though? Who do you think you're gonna get? Could you trade for the first pick and go get Victor Wembanyama or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you'll get some first rounders for Kawhi and Paul George. Trade them separately.
But do you remember if I was the Clippers? They were so bad for so long.
Yeah,
I would never ever risk being like, let's start over and see what we can do. I mean, of course you can get free agents, but damn, nah.
Steve Ballmer's got a bag deeper than Santa, though, man.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't think Steve Ballmer is going to want to sit courtside. He's almost like, you know what I mean? Play. Yeah, what's old head James Goldstein when they were trying to when everybody's getting the COVID virus. And he had a bunch of G League players doing the 10 days. He's like, just shut the lead down, bro. I'm not trying to watch that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Steve Ballmer's got that. He's got too much pride to blow it up, but whatever. Keep finishing short. Keep finishing short. I mean, or figure out something. I
mean, injuries occur. And when you break it down, if you get guys healthy, I think 1 or 2 pieces here or there. But Ty Lue can coach his ass off too. You know what I mean? So. It's one of those moments, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. Maybe we look at the training staff. Maybe the medical staff can't get them healthy.
You think that's the case?
Probably
knows,
not,
man?
But maybe. Probably not.
Who knows? It's usually always the player's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it, man. 8 under YMCA league blew my knee out.
What? When you're 8?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, what?
I took off like Jaw did, and it just snapped.
And basically, just blew it up, huh?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Tough. Yeah.
Yo,
you have your jersey. What were you saying?
I was about to say, bro, we talk about all these teams. You got the New York Knicks shirt on, man. I'm really rooting for the Knicks to make a run. I'm not going to lie.
Really? I love Jalen Brunson's game, man.
Yeah. I want to see him. I want to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That city of New York, I don't even know how they would react. I don't think they know how to react to that.
Yeah, I mean, last year they had a street parade for a home split, and then this year, I mean, now they just, I mean, the videos coming from it are pretty funny, but it's like mad ignorant.
They're gonna burn the city down if it happens. And, hey, you know what? It'd be good entertainment. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. I like what they're doing. It's good when New York is good at basketball. They're a big market that can actually produce basketball. It's fun to watch, you know?
Yeah, we need it for sure.
Need it. So you got your number retired at the Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
What's it going to take for Ohio State to become a basketball school? Is it going to take Bronny coming to Ohio State?
Man, Ohio State is a basketball school. You know, it's just waves, bro. At least during our time, we we were just there not too long ago having an NIL benefit. And, you know, up until, 2014, from, 06 to 2014, we had, 6 Big Ten titles, 4 Big Ten tournament titles, 2 Final Four runs, an Elite Eight, a couple Sweet 16s. So, you know, it's a run. And you do a past couple years, we've been in top 10 numerous times, top 15, from portions of the season. We just have to win. Big fan of Bronny. I think in this day and age, amongst people that, you need those type of names coming in so people can solidify and stamp it and be like, oh, yeah, now this is a basketball school, especially considering the fact that, social media is so heavily synonymous with basketball these days as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I just can't agree with you in the fact that Ohio State is so a football school.
No, I think football is such a big deal. I just if you just do the numbers and you go down and look at it, it's past couple years, top 10 still, top 15. We have some of the top players, top recruiting classes in the country. It's just you got to do something in March to make you be remembered by, and we usually don't make it out the first weekend in the past couple years. So I think we really have to string probably a decade plus consistency of it. You know what I mean?
Were you there with Aaron Kraft?
I left. I came right after Greg Oden, and left right before Aaron Kraft and Jared Sullinger. So if I would have stayed, Aaron Kraft would have been probably would have just been backing me up probably.
He was a dog, man. He's no Evan Turner. He's no ET.
No, but there's a lot of good players there. I thought during that time, Jared Sullinger was arguably the best player to come out of Ohio State during that time. John Diebler, he was an all-time all-time leader in three-point shots in conference history. Day Lighty had the all-time most wins in NCAA history, and Will Beaver second all-time leading scorer. So you had some ballers come out of there, man. It was some hoopers for sure.
Definitely. You broke your back in junior year. At that point, did you think your career was over?
Nah, when I broke my back, I thought I had to shit. I'm like, damn, I got to shit. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, this shit.
That's what you were thinking?
That was the first thing I thought. But to be honest with you, I was a kid. You know what I mean? And, I was confident and kind of delusional in a sense of where you don't think anything's going to happen to you. After I broke my back December 5th, came back January 6th. You understand what I'm saying? So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, the thought of my career being over made absolutely no sense. You know what I mean? I heard it, but glory be to God, or whoever it was just nah, I'm coming back. We got to win and call it a day. I think after the first few days, I stopped taking my pain meds, and I was on a couch ridden. But the second I could start walking, I just started dribbling the ball. Then I started just dribbling between my legs, and I probably did a week's worth of cardio. I was able to do underwater treadmill as well. And I basically forced it. I was like, bro, I'm coming right back to play. They say 6 to 8 weeks. I'm coming back in 4. And I broke my back December 5th. I practiced January 5th, and I played January 6th.
That's fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
Good shit. Good shit. That is awesome.
I appreciate it.
That also could have been just the largest shit you've ever had to take.
Bruh, man, to be honest with you, shit, in between there, it was just I couldn't even sit down. You understand what I'm saying? My whole back just spasmed up. So, I don't even think I thought about shitting for a couple of days. They had to give me some stool softeners. Because I literally, the thought of, trying to bend and, sit was, a no-go for me.
Dude, I hurt my back the other day reaching for some groceries on the bottom shelf. I was getting some rice, some, white rice or something.
No, you gotta start doing that routine. You gotta start doing a morning
yoga
routine.
You a yoga guy?
I'm yoga. I just do a lot of stretching, man, just so I can somewhat feel normal. I ain't got time. Stretching for 45 minutes is aggressive. Now,
I only do hot yoga.
No, it makes sense, but at the end of the day, you drenched in sweat and you just dead ass tired, dog. That is not. It's cool. It's cool, but it's just some people had that room up too high, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do my stretching in the bedroom.
This dude right here.
All right, that's like 3 sex jokes. All right, a couple more questions here. The year's 2020. It's the height of COVID. 22 teams are in the NBA bubble. You played for the Hawks at the time. You were not invited to the bubble. Were you happy that you missed out on it?
For me personally, yeah, because I just got traded to the Timberwolves, and obviously they didn't miss out on the bubble. They didn't get invited to the bubble either. So, I wanted to play basketball, but at the same time, it was like we were so. I really had no realistic position to play. I was waiting to get bought out, and stuff just didn't occur. So I was just around that time towards the end of my career because I retired next, literally 6 months later. I had mixed emotions towards it because, I did 10 years in the league. I felt like I had a couple of fun years, but I was at the point of working so hard and kind of trying to getting tired of forcing it to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And being able to, I felt like I was getting to a point where I was adapting to roles and, keep on adapting to roles where, I almost deteriorated to, a player that I didn't even recognize. And that was kind of getting unfun. And, showing up to games and shooting 3 times a game or, playing at the end of 3 minutes at the end of each quarter. I was like, that shit's for the birds. I'm coming to compete. And, I think when that opportunity of, be with a glass ceiling above you or above your head, I kind of, just reverted back to being like, okay, this has been fun. I take it for what it's worth. But fuck trying to get the game to love me or get, trying to make myself fit into a situation or, trying to force something that's probably not there anymore. You're shooting 3 times a night after a while. It's like, bro, nah, you're just in the way. You feel me?
Yeah, it's fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron has an asterisk for that bubble championship?
Nah, because when you talk to the hoopers and everything, and that's what you have to really take it from, a lot of hoopers and some of the best hoopers are like, man, that bubble is tough to be in. And to win that bubble really shows you love the game. And, I know a lot of people are sitting there getting upset at me when I said if there was a bubble MVP, or a bubble, again, we should name that trophy after Brown. But I was being more so serious towards legacy because hopefully a pandemic never happens. But if it does, it's just a little needle in a haystack type vibe where you pull out another historic fact of arguably one of the best players to ever live.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think it's going to take for LeBron to reach Michael Jordan's status in terms of GOAT?
I don't think he ever could, man, to be completely honest with you, in my opinion. And I'm from Chicago, so I'm just biased.
Yeah.
But Jordan's just great, man. LeBron could be the best player ever. MJ was truly great. He was dominant. He was, he always came through. I just remember being a kid, and he just seemed like a real-life superhero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the legacy left on the game, just even with the swagger, the post-game, the mentality he had, the impression he left, the style, the shoes, all that stuff really plays a part. MJ is going to be around forever. You know what I'm saying? And
definitely. His brand,
even
too.
His brand and everything. He's literally, the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
I feel like for my generation, and at least the newer generation of basketball fans, watching Steph Curry is the equivalent of your generation watching Michael Jordan.
I think so. I can agree with that. I don't want to say it's different.
Yeah, I'm just saying in terms of being amazed every night by what you're watching.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can definitely see that in a way. Obviously, people follow LeBron in a crazy way, but this cult-like, angelic following that Steph has, where it's there's some type of glaring aura around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he really, his confidence, his determination, everything, in a way, he's feared. You understand what I'm saying? And he's feared. And he does it all with a smile on his face. He's like, what's the dude from Game of Thrones, Lannister? Man, he's a golden child. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's funny is I don't know if you heard Mario Chalmers' clip about nobody feared Braun, but he did it on our podcast. He did it on our podcast.
Yeah.
Did you fear Braun personally?
I mean, Braun is tough, bro. So to sit here and say did I fear Brown personally? That's crazy to say because 28-8-8, your whole offense and your whole defense and everything is set towards him, and you definitely comprehend what he's capable of. But I'll give a story about Kobe Bryant that I guess could say the same level. When I walked into the league, I think it was like Mo Space or somebody. I forgot. One of my teammates, they were like, before you go out there and shoot, if Kobe's out there, don't look at him, don't smile at him, don't look his way, don't let him see you like staring, like don't give him any type of edge, like nothing. Like damn near talking about him like he was like a real mamba, like a real assassin. And I remember being like, wait, what? And he's like, bro, you heard me, just don't look his way. And I was like, and anything he does, he's going to try to get like an inside on you. Like just don't do it, bro. And like that, not saying scary, but I know for sure that was certain type of fear where you say to certain type of level. And if you want to say like, no, did I hear that about Bron? Like, no, that wasn't. Those are two different type of killers. And one was like literally a crazy assassin. And another one was like, you know, always has a standard and like an elevation that you have to really rise to. And one thing about Bron, he's always in every game. And I think that's what anybody that's a basketball savant comprehends, that he's fearful in that magnitude.
I was reading that story that you told earlier. What did Kobe say to you?
Oh, to me?
Yeah, what did he say to you?
Oh, no. He honestly, he didn't say. He literally asked me how my mom was doing because I had met him. I met him the year before because Rob Pelinka's agent was recruiting me, and Kobe was like the sweetest dude on earth. He had met my mom, signed a shoe for her and everything, and he just came up to me and said, "What's up, young boy? How you doing? How you liking it?" And he said, "How's your mom doing?" And that's one thing that was always cool. Even last time I seen him, man, he always checked on me and asked how my mom was doing it. And I just remember being like, bro, at a certain point in time, you heard this dude was supposed to be like the worst human on earth, or like, you know what I'm saying? You know, the Kobe system and all this and the other. And I just remember telling people like, man, that dude legit, like, when you're having a bad day, he's seeing you, and getting attention from Kobe made you feel like you're, on cloud nine. And then, even just little things of being like, how's your mom doing? Like, tell her I said hello. It's like, man, that's a Mamba. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he took his time out to, really show that type of love. And that was something, when you look back on it, everybody had those type of stories, but that was one thing that was cool. And I just remember another time we played my third year in Philly, and we were going back and forth, and the game's winding down towards the end, and somebody's shooting free throws, and he and I at half court, and he's like, "Hey, I seen you been working on that bop." He said, "The midi looking good and everything too. I see you working." And I remember, I just remember sitting there and being like, "Damn!" Like, I was speechless. I'm like, "Yeah," but then I'm like, "Bro, Kobe dead ass said he's seen what I've been doing. Like, that was one of those things that was just unbelievable, man. Like, because I remember being 8 years old back in Chicago and watching Kobe win a dunk contest, and playing Kobe NBA courtside and all that cool stuff. So I'm forever indebted to the Mamba.
Full circle. Yeah. Our last segment here. I'm going to read some quotes, and you'll answer true or false to whether or not you said them.
All right.
This is going to be fun. I'm really excited for this.
Good.
True or false? When asked about becoming the NBA logo, you said, obviously, a lot more women would be into the game.
No, yeah, I said that. I definitely said that.
Correct. It's true.
Yeah, a lot of this, before you get into it, I think you're going to notice, like, my personality switched from Philly to, like, when I got to Boston. And it was based off the media of, like, even when I was being so sincere, sometimes, like, the article would just come out bullshit anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at one point, I was like, I remember doing an article where, like, I opened up, gave background and everything on, like, my upbringing, this and the other, and it was met with, like, condescending tones. So I'm like, you know what? From now on, every interview I do, whatever story I want to tell, I'm just gonna say it. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like,
nothing matters. Nothing matters.
That's what I said. Like, I'm just gonna say bullshit. They don't want real shit. I'm just gonna sit here and legit enjoy myself with it, because there's no point in me being mad at this. And at very worst, I'm getting mad at some lame ass people. Like, I'll be damned if I'm beefing with a media member. So at that point, I'm like, I'm done with that. I will not have no beef with a media member, nobody whatsoever. They control the pen. I'm just gonna legit we just gonna have a good time every time we hop on a microphone.
That's why I'm so excited that you came on the podcast, because clearly what you just said, and some of these quotes are my all-time favorite quotes in terms of basketball. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
True or false? When asked about Kobe's final trip to Boston, you said, "People will say it's for Kobe, but deep down it's probably for me."
Oh, you talking about the standing ovation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was just a joke, man. That was just a silly little joke that I think just went
dude, I love it, bro.
Bigger than what it was, man. But I think we lost that game, man. So Kobe earned his rightful celebration.
God, man, I love it. Okay, ready? Last one here. True or false? On deferring to Jay Crowder for a game winner in 2015, you said, you already know where this is going. You said, when I was dribbling, I was like, oh snap, I'm at 15 feet, I'm about to end this. And then I thought about Michael Jordan passing to Steve Kerr, and I thought, well, let me add that to my legacy. I'll pass one time. And that was it. It was unbelievable, actually ingenious by me.
It was. I feel like when you
it was ingenious. It
was ingenious when you sit there, we looked at the play, how I set it up, dribbled in, threw it behind, shielded two players, clock running down well enough. I thought that was smooth. And I think one thing that occurred, not to toot my own horn, I never got credit for how I played in pressure situations or clutch moments. So that was just another example of what you could do if you had me in 20 seconds.
Yeah, man. Look, 20 seconds. That's way more than I get. But you do it like this. You go in front of the defender, top of the key. You go, Jay Crowder.
No. And when it went in, I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, damn, we just won this. So I mean, you know what I'm saying. So that was a big time moment, and Boston was some of my funnest times, and I guess like towards the end of my career, when I was thinking about retiring or not, I was like, if I went somewhere, I'll only probably play for Brad in Boston, because those were like the only couple years I really had like ultimate fun, or like not even saying ultimate fun, but I felt like Brad did a great job of putting players in position to be successful. You know what I mean? And Boston was a special city, and they were electric. Fan base is dope. And
you ended up joining the coaching staff in 2021, I believe.
Yeah, but I ain't like that shit. It was cool, man, but I need a little bit longer break. I got the utmost respect for the coaches, because, it's really a dark side. When you play as a player, you're probably working out 4 hours a day, and, obviously you might watch film for an hour, a couple hours, this and the other. But when you watch, when you're coaching, you have to really be there early, set the practice up, do the individual workouts, stay after practice, watch more film, break down this, coach the game. When we're flying to a different city, watch the game, break down the film, get right back up, have everything. You know what I mean? Be ready to go for the next game, and finesse from there. And like to do all that for like a tenth of what you were making playing, like nah, I'm gonna have to get a little bit more humble for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of respect though. It's a lot of respect to coaches and what they do.
Yeah, so they're thorough. So, I'm definitely always grateful for Brad. He always leaves the door open for me, so I appreciate it.
It's awesome, man. Last thing I want to talk about here, I've been listening to Point Forward. Absolutely love it. You and Andre are great. Why should people listen to it?
I think one thing it is I know everybody says it's not a basketball pod, but it's just not a basketball pod. I think we do a great job of bringing culture. I think you can see our on mic chemistry along with we talk business. Some of our biggest guests were Robert Smith of Vista. He's the richest black billionaire in America. We had SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, right before the scandal occurred. We had guys like Steve Ballmer on. We had Eric Wan. We had the creator of Zoom, and a lot of great guys. We just dropped Rick Welts today. We'll have a Rick Rubin interview coming. I think it's just a lot of free game you can get off there, and I think it's real conversations. And I think we represent something that's more than an athlete, and I think that narrative is very big right now. And if you haven't met Andre Iguodala, he's a hell of an entrepreneur. He's a great individual, and he's very, very smart. So when he breaks down that insight on business and starts giving you the free game, you really have to take a note. And I think it's something shocking, because the dude's a real scholar.
Definitely. I mean, love everything you said there. Make sure you guys go listen to Point Forward. It's on all platforms, correct? All major streaming platforms?
Yes, sir. And also,
go check it out.
And check out Beyond the Big Ten. That's myself and Andre Iguodala. We started a Big Ten basketball platform. We'll also be replicating with football. So it consists of some of the best players at the school, that ever played at those schools. So, for instance, for the Ohio State, we have Aaron Kraft, Jared Sullinger, David Lighty, Adam Jardy. They're doing a pod. At Michigan State, you have Travis Walton and Raymar Morgan. From Michigan, you have Nick Stauskas, Stu Douglas. From Indiana, you got big shot Christian Watford, Derek Elston. So we have, and even from Wisconsin, you have Jordan Taylor and those type of guys. So you have a few alma maters, a few players were legends at their alma maters, chopping up, talking weekly basketball. So we have some dope stuff coming for that.
Awesome. Go check it out. Beyond the Big Ten, all major streaming platforms. Evan, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's an incredible episode. For everybody listening and watching, we'll see you next time.
Straight up out the gate, I'm OT. Press game time. Hey, look, I'm here to win it all, not here to waste time.